Zambia, like other affected countries, has been grappling with power generation instability owing to the fact that the country mainly depends on the constant and water availability in water bodies, especially the Kariba Dam. The now repeatedly dropping water levels at the Kariba Dam in Siavonga district, caused by low rainfall recorded in the past rainy seasons, has pointed to the need to increase energy investment and generation to avoid instability in the provision of electricity. Further, low water inflows in the reservoirs at the Kafue Gorge, Victoria Falls and the Kariba North Bank, which houses the Kariba Dam and has a total capacity of 1,080 megawatts, has been affected by fluctuations in the amount of water received in a particular rainy season. These reservoirs account for a greater percentage of total electricity supply in all the 10 provinces. The country's energy sources also include renewable sources such as solar, wind, and biomass, as well as fossil fuels such as petroleum. And in spite of this diversity of energy sources, water still remains the main energy source. ZESCO is the company mandated to generate, transmit, and distribute electricity to national and regional markets. The company also shares the resource, the Kariba Dam, for electricity generation with Zimbabwe Power Company. And since the construction of the Kariba Dam in 1958, the Zambezi River Authority has been mandated to monitor the water levels in the dam and revise the water allocation for hydropower generation to the two utility companies.
The River Authority is not a power generating entity, but we are one of a tripartite relationship which becomes Zambezi River Authority, and the second being ZESCO Limited on the Zambia side, the third being Zimbabwe Power Company on the Zimbabwe side. So the two power utilities or power entities are responsible for energy generation. Our relationship comes in that we manage the Kariba Dam, we avail the water resource that's impounded in the lake by way of allocating to these two institutions for them to generate power.
Recently, the country experienced unprecedented power disruptions, which led to President Hakainde Hichilema visit Kariba Dam power plant to assess the situation. The head of state called for immediate action to address the challenges at the Kariba Dam. His visit to the dam yielded positive results as the country was restored to its normal load shedding hours, electricity accessibility. The recent projections at the Kariba Dam show that despite the low rainfall during the 2022-2023 rainy season, the lake level has risen from its lowest record of 475.60 meters recorded on 31st December 2022 to 477.59 meters.
The River Authority allocates water for power generation to the utilities annually. The lake is made up of dead and live storage. It's a position that I've just shared with you. At full capacity, the storage is at 181. It's supposed to be 100. There should be an error there. It's 181 billion cubic meters. That includes even the dead storage. But the live storage volume is 65 billion. In a good rainfall season, total inflow in the lake, a good rainfall season, total inflow in the Kariba reaches over 50 billion. While in a bad season, we get as low flow as 12 billion. And when it's from those projected inflow in the lake that we basically allocate annually. depending on the performance of the rainfall season and even the outlook towards, because we need to sustainably remain with some water for the ensuing year. So we do our water balance and ensure that even if we gave out, we'll certainly remain with something that can take us into the ensuing year. For the year 2022, Zambezi River Authority allocated 45 billion, and this year the allocation is 40 billion. You will note that we certainly went down, basically based on the information we got from our hydrological analysis and what we expect the season to go likely to perform this year.
The projections continue to rise with the interventions from the two governments, the authority and other supporting partners to rehabilitate the dam, among other activities aimed at ensuring enough electricity generation and sustenance.
Here we are illustrating the development of the plunge pool, which eventually, from an originally river level layout, it has gradually deepened. What you see there in red are the different measurements that were undertaken through surveys, which are showing you in 1962 a very shallow pool that was up to there in depth. By 1972, it had gone up just over 50 meters deep, and by 1981, it has gone down to 80 meters. And how that is formed is through the spilling water. What you see there, that blue line, is a water jet that is hitting the plunge pool. And as it hits the pool, the force of that water causes turbulence in the pool, and that turbulence results in erosion. That erosion is what we need to minimize by increasing the size of the pool through reshaping. So the reshaping is nothing fancy, but just increasing the volume of the pool so that it contains more water. And the more water it has, the more effective it is to break down this energy of the flowing jet and then prevent erosion in the pool itself. So this process forms the third component of the Kariba Dam Rehabilitation Project. So these three components are expected to run in their own timelines, but ultimately we expect the whole project to come to closure at the beginning of 2025. So about February 2025, we expect that the spillway refurbishment works, which is the last of the works to be completed, to come to a close.
A tour to the Kariba Dam early March 2023 by a Zanis crew showed that works at the site are certainly ongoing and speeding up. The authority is also working on the Badoka Gorge hydroelectricity scheme. This is to supplement the amount of power being generated from the Kariba Dam.
Then on the downstream, we again have avoided interrupting power generation by including that coffer dam, so that as generation goes on, the water from power generation flows downstream without coming to the working area. Because as it comes to the working area, that would mean interrupting the works. But in order to avoid that completely, we then had that coffer dam constructed. And the coffer dam keeps all the generation water flowing downstream.
Other efforts to increase power generation and provision in the country include the partnering with Maamba Collieries Limited with the government. President Hakainde Hichilema visited the thermal power plant at the mining company in order to find a solution to the power shortages. Maamba Collieries Limited, which has the only thermal power plant in the country, is now supplying 300 megawatts of thermal power to the national electricity grid in an agreement that will run for over a period of 20 years.
Recently, His Excellency the President himself, when he visited Maamba, expressed desire that Maamba expands to 600 megawatts. And the Ministry of Energy also has now given us an official communication that Maamba should look at expanding to 600 megawatts. So having said this, our technical considerations and our back-end technical work is going on at full speed. We are identifying the correct equipment, identifying the correct type of machinery, what is the correct configuration. So all these aspects are going on, and we are largely agreed as to what we need to do.
Maamba Collieries is now contributing to the reduction of power outages and contributing to the development of the country. The company is not only contributing to generating of power, it has so far created 86% of local jobs. They are currently the largest employers in the southern part of Zambia after government.
About 1,500 staff in total, out of which 230 expert staff, which represents 15% of our total labor force. We retain these expert staff for knowledge transfer. You know, the type of machinery and equipment that we have is high-tech machinery, and these facilities are the first and only one of its kind in Zambia. So we don't have people that are already skilled in these areas, and so we need expert staff to come and pass on the knowledge transfer to the local engineers, who we get mainly from our local universities. The CBU has been a major contributor, the University of Zambia, NOTEC, to name just but a few. You also be interested to know that we have women in our labor force. I know you'd think engineering is only for the men, but we have some ladies that have defied that norm. And the number of women in our labor force is increasing with time. In the past, we only had about 5%, if not even below 5% of women forming part of our labor force. But now we are hitting towards 10%. Our intention actually is to reach as much, because MCL is an equal opportunity employer. We pick our staff, both technical and professional, on merit. It's your qualification that matters.
Maamba Collieries Limited is also a pioneer in using the state-of-art equipment and supplies coal to about 18 industries in the country. And through its corporate social responsibilities, the company has embarked on an infrastructure development program which includes construction of dams, a footbridge, and upgrading of township roads.
In provision of clean and safe drinking water to communities around, we did quite a number of boreholes as we celebrated the Golden Jubilee. And then in the same vein, we also did 2 dams to ensure that livestock around is able to get water during the dry season. We have also constructed a number of crossing points by way of providing footbridges around. As you are aware here, the streams are fast flowing, and therefore it's quite challenging for community members to cross some streams.
Maamba Collieries Limited has further built schools, hence providing quality education to the local children.
We run a private school which provides education from kindergarten to 9th grade. Attendance to this school is open to the whole community, as long as one is able to pay the minimum fees that we contribute. The school has been in existence since 1974, and what we have done is actually to improve the infrastructure.
It has further renovated hospital facilities, which include an eye clinic.
We have also a flagship project for Maamba Collieries, which is the Maamba Eye Care Center, which we did in partnership with Operation Eyesight, of course with the help from Ministry of Health. This facility was opened by Her Honor the Vice President last year. That should have been in October 2022. The beauty about this is that it's able to provide the much needed eye care services in a rural setup like Maamba and Snazongo as a whole. And it's also strategically located in the sense that people from Pemba, Choma, Kalomo are able to access it.
Government, through its partners and the Maamba Collieries Operation Eyesight, identified the need that this space should be adequate, at least for the minimum service in eye care that should be rendered. Hence, this place was identified. When it was identified, it was plain, and hence it had to be refurbished. Everything that you can see, it was not like this.
Besides embarking on infrastructure development, the company has trained some of the local engineers, among them women, especially the youths, a policy which is in line with the New Dawn administration.
Just come in and it's very dark. You can turn on this one here. It can control all the lights that are here, and you can turn off from the intermediate switch which is there, and it can also go on, and then you can turn off from here.
I joined MCL in 2020. I started as a trainee. Yes, we had 6 months training classroom. Then after that, we were taken in various fields, locations. I was taken at CHP, 400 plant. Yes, from there, I've been leading 7 men. You know, it's something that is not easy. Yes, but I can tell you this, I have the best team anyone can wish to have. Yes, my supervisors, they are so supportive. I received the best support that anyone else can receive. Yes, so my experience here has been awesome. As you can see right now, I'm doing independent shifts with minimal supervision.
With all these efforts by Maamba Collieries Limited, the company continues to face challenges of transporting fuel and exportation of heavy-duty machinery due to the poor state of the link road, the Maamba-Batoka Road.
The Maamba-Batoka Road is a very important link to Maamba for 2 aspects. Firstly, the coal that we mine, and there are other coal companies around in that area. We provide coal to major industries and mines of Zambia. They are dependent on this coal, and therefore they will not be able to carry out their production if there is a break in supply. And if the Maamba-Batoka Road gets washed away or totally broken, though of course wherever we can pitch in and do some repair work, we are doing it, but we are not a road company. We are not experts in roads. So therefore we need that road to be repaired, because a lot of industries in Zambia depends on our coal for their sustenance. The second aspect is our power plant requires a lot of chemicals and fuel to run, and therefore if there is a break on the road, the reverse supply, that is from outside into Maamba, tends to get disrupted. And the third important part is that when we are expanding to phase 2, a lot of heavy and large equipments will be coming in to to us. And there is no way that those large and heavy equipment mounted on trucks can navigate on that road in its present condition.
Truck drivers who constantly use the road express displeasure and called on government to work on the road as cities of economic importance.
Some areas where I think before certain corner, certain bump area there, trucks used to get stuck near on daily basis. Not until the RTA came on board. But the works they did was just on temporary basis. I think if you proceed up to that point, you're able to trace and verify it may start
Kana road. Especially tienza mamotoka yamena ya Chinese misana tafa misana. Wakota wakajiri mwana mungono chifuka jama road. Yamene road kumashika tungozi twistika according na road mwamena hivi. There's out baburo bakamba no my drivers they are careless. The truck drivers they are careless. You can't be careless about this road the way it is. Road niyo ipai. Although you are trying maona road niyo ipa tisero kama rupiria ya izi mamoto gaima yuzinga mpepo ya ruzinga mpepo ya ende amugwesa driver no driver anali okunga like myself I'm not drinking I'm not smoking ndina muntu wa chugantu so sometimes mzape zauti like these Chinese trucks when you are you place maybe 3-4 times brake mpepo ya sila.
The community in Maamba area in Sinazongwe district is also concerned about the state of the road.
Iguya kumafamu kutulima twapila menda twapila mutu bambile road. Tulomba niyo ni muli kumbele ni bamulawo. Tulomba bi.
It is hoped that the cooperation of government, Maamba Collieries Limited and the Zambezi River Authority will alleviate the challenges of power shortages that have been faced in the country. It is also hoped that some of the challenges, including the rehabilitation of the Maamba-Batoka Economic Road, will be taken into consideration by government and other stakeholders.